Hey Titans fans, Titan Uprising here. Thanks for tuning in and watching. Please continue to like, share, and subscribe. I'm almost at 300 subscribers. I think I'm like 2 or 3 short. If you guys can make that happen, please do. If you're watching the video for the first time and you like what you see, hit the subscribe button. It's right down there. And hey, we're gonna get right into this video today. And I'm gonna do a little bit of a preview of what I wanna see Saturday when the Tennessee Titans take on the Minnesota Vikings, and that's Saturday 8 p.m. Eastern time in Minnesota. And there's a few things I'm looking for, and I'll get into that towards the end of the video. But we just got done having joint practices with them for the past 2 days, and I wanted to get into that because that's a lot of the meat. Because I don't believe we are really going to be playing a lot of starters. And I'll get into why I don't think we're going to, because what happened on Wednesday. So I wanted to break down what's been happening in camp, or the past 2 days of joint practices, or camp if you want to say that, but joint practices. And there's a lot of good stuff to read into here, and a lot of good information. And throughout the video, I'm going to be popping up some training camp or the joint practice, if you want to say that, joint practice photos, because you guys don't want to be staring at my ugly mug the whole time. So hey, let's get into this, guys. And I do think it's fair to say the Vikings probably won the joint practice yesterday, which would be Wednesday. But I think the Titans won the practice today. And one of the reasons I would even say that, the Titans lost yesterday is because of an injury that I'll get into towards the end here. But the defensive line for the Vikings was just pushing around the Titans' offensive line, and they would have had a lot of sacks on the quarterbacks if they were actually allowed to touch them. But there's would have been sacks against the Tennessee Titans because the Vikings defensive line was just bullying them. And the offensive line today, though, on Thursday, had a lot better day, which is good because you want to see improvement and you want to see guys get better. I mean, and I'm hoping that we're not gonna overreact, and hey, I might overreact too. If we see a not so good offensive line week 1, week 2, there's a chance they get better, and hopefully they do. They got to gel. They're all new playing together. We completely tore this thing down and rebuilt it, and we needed to because of how bad this line was last year. Just be happy that Dennis Daly, the swinging door, isn't out there at left tackle. So, we got to be patient with this group. I got to remind myself to be patient as well because, hey, I'm just like you guys. I want to see this team do good, and sometimes you see something bad, you got to talk yourself off the ledge, right? But the offensive line today for the Minnesota Vikings was absolutely destroyed by the Tennessee Titans, and they were bullied yesterday as well. But today was a good day, and guys like Jeffrey Simmons were just living in that backfield. And Vikings reporters were mentioning that Jeffrey Simmons was a hell of a load for the Vikings interior, and he was just chirping all day. Love that. The Vikings' first and second team offenses, they didn't get much time to operate at all. They were just under duress. And that's good when you say first and second, because we have a little bit of depth on the D-line there, huh? Now, one player that I really want to talk about here on the defensive side of the ball, and that's Christian Fulton. He was locking down Justin Jefferson, who I think is the best. I think he's the best wide receiver in the NFL. You guys might want to say Devontae Adams, Jamar Chase. I don't know. Justin Jefferson's he's a different animal. I think he's the best receiver in the NFL, personally. So he was locking down Justin Jefferson, and I love seeing that. We need that. Jefferson did score 2 touchdowns, but it was not against Fulton, which is good. Fulton also had this insane one-handed touchdown, and that's on the screen here for you guys to see. That was just absolutely insane. Now, Fulton was standing out to multiple reporters today, and multiple reporters used the term sticky coverage. I love it. Absolutely love it. I said this in a previous video that we need Fulton to be a lockdown corner. We so desperately need that, and for us to stay healthy as well, because I'm a little worried about the depth that we have at corner, and I'll get into that a little later in the video about what I want to see in the preseason game. But man, we need him to be a lockdown. We need him to stay healthy on the field. This defense, we have an absolutely absurd defensive front. If we just have a lockdown corner to go with it, I mean, that's just, and then the safeties that we have, oh my God, this defense is going to be top 5. It's going to be top 5. And the Vikings aren't no slouch, guys. This is a hell of a quarterback in Kirk Cousins. I think he's one of the most underrated quarterbacks in the NFL. And like I said, I think the best wide receiver in Justin Jefferson in the NFL as well. We're not playing against a crappy offense there in practices, and they're probably happy to see a front like the Tennessee Titans because it's a front to be reckoned with, and guys like Jeffrey Simmons do not grow on trees. Now, I'll get into some of the highlights or stats or statistics, if you want to say, for the past couple days, for today. Hooker had two breakups and one-on-ones. So did Azeez Al-Shaair, Sean Murphy-Bunting, Mike Brown, Jack Gibbons, Anthony Kendall, Otis Reese. They all had breakups as well. Kevin Byard and Matthew Jackson had breakups in the 2-on-2s. McCreary had an interception in the 2-on-2s, and that makes McCreary his second interception in 2 days. Love seeing that. Love for him to take that second-year leap. He played a lot of snaps last year because we needed him to. Danico Autry put a ball rush on Christian Darrisaw and pushed him right back into Kirk Cousins for a sack. Arden Key and Harold Landry, they got to Kirk Cousins as well for a would-be sack, and the play had to be whistled dead because obviously, we can't touch those guys, the quarterbacks. You don't want them getting hurt. That's really nice to see Harold Landry back in there with Key. Just, that's a great duo right there. That's deadly. And then the very next play, Elijah Molden had what would have been a would-be sack as well. Very next play, that's awesome. This defense, guys, this defense is just playing lights out. Lights out. I'm so excited for this defense. And, I am excited for this offense. And I was excited for what I saw yesterday, right? I was watching this play just like you guys probably were too. And I'm like, oh my God, Treylon Burks, that was a hell of a catch. And then I'm like, oh no. And then he went down and I'm just like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. We all had that scare yesterday, right? With Treylon Burks. Luckily, it wasn't significant, and he just suffered an LCL sprain, and he's expected to miss a few weeks. Now, we got lucky here. We really did, but, that was a hell of a throw and catch, because like I said, I was excited for that. That was a hell of a throw by Tannehill and catch by Burks, and that just shows what this offense is going to be capable of doing. We need the 2 stud wide receivers for this offense to truly work and open things up for everybody else to be able to make their jobs easier. Now, Hopkins, he's been a force as well, and especially in the red zone. Tannehill shined there today in comparison to Cousins. Malik Willis had some bombs the past couple of days, and he's really improved. He had an absolute beautiful bomb to Chris Moore today, called back on a BS flag. Nobody knows where the hell that came from. But yeah, Malik Willis is just launching it. Will Levis, he's looked really good. He's looked especially good in the red zone, which I like seeing. But he did leave early today with a lower body injury and is questionable to play in the game on Saturday. And, because he's questionable playing this game on Saturday, we might only see Malik Willis on Saturday, and he might play the entire game, which is actually, if he does, I'm really interested in seeing this game because you guys got to remember last week it was Levis and Willis rotating in and out, right? And a lot of people said they didn't like that. They want to see guys catch a rhythm and everything. I understand that. But also, these guys are backups. If Tannehill gets hurt, hopefully he does not, knock on wood, if he does not get hurt, if he did get hurt, then these guys are just going to get thrown right in there. You're not going to have a rhythm anyways. You're going to be thrown right in. So I understand that process of it. I really do. But this is going to be an opportunity to see Malik Willis maybe a whole game, see if he catches a rhythm. And if he does, I want to see what that looks like. I want to see if he's going to start just throws for 300 yards or something crazy. I'm really interested to see that if Levis does not play, and if he has any type of hurt, just let him rest and get healthy. Now, I'm not sure what we're going to see from starters here in this game because we did practice 2 days against the Vikings. I'm not even sure what the Vikings are going to put out there. They don't want to have injuries either. I'm sure when everybody saw Traylon Burks got hurt, I'm sure everybody was like, oh man, that could be someone. Vikings are like, oh man, that could have been Justin Jefferson. You just don't want these injuries. Injuries suck. Yeah, they suck because it's our favorite team and our favorite players, but sucks for the players as well. They're humans, and you gotta go home with these injuries, and gets in their psyche, and they gotta sit a whole year, and if it's significant enough, and that sucks. It really does. So let's hope for no injuries. I don't root for injuries on anybody, even against teams I dislike. I don't never root for injuries. That's rotten to do. So I'll be interested to see who they actually play as well as the Vikings. But I don't think we're going to see many of our starters. I really don't. We didn't see many last week, and especially after what happened, like I said, the Burks, I don't think we're going to see many of the starters. I do think the offensive line will go in for the first drive or two. If they go down the field, block well, score a touchdown, I think they come out just like they did last week. The offensive line needs to gel. It needs time. It needs time together. It needs reps together, live reps together, and going against a good Vikings pass rush. The Vikings were bowling us on the first day, and they still did a little bit the second day as well, but not as much as the first day. Going up against a Vikings pass rush is only going to make you better because they are such a good defensive front. But like I said, I doubt we see any of the starting weapons. I doubt the defense will see any starters as well. I will once again. This is what I've been keeping an eye on. I told you guys I'll get into the video what I will get into a little later. I want to see the second inside linebacker spot competition really here between Jack Gibbens and Monty Rice. I want to see who's going to win that. Right now, it looks like it's Gibbens, even with the two joint practices past couple days. Gibbens has been out snapping Rice. So I think it's Gibbens. And I said this in the last video. I think it's his job to lose. But Chance Campo, by the way, here, he's been playing really well also. So that gives us four good inside linebackers with Aziz, Gibbons, Rice, and then Campo. Those are four solid guys. But I am interested to see this inside linebacker spot still. I want to see if Monty can maybe make a last-second push. It's coming to an end here, right? This is our second of 3 preseason games. But I do think this is slowly, if not, I shouldn't even say slowly. I think this is starting to look like it's locked up here for Jack Gibbens. But like I said, it gives us 4 good inside linebackers. And don't forget about Ben Neiman and Luke Gifford either. They've been making plays all over the place. Gifford is a special teams ace. We got him from Dallas. I remember Dallas special teams coach. So you guys got yourself a stud on special teams. And we all know Mike Vrabel loves his guys on special teams. He has been preaching that. He has said that's how he made a name for himself and got into the NFL and became a starter. If you guys remember somebody like David Long, that's how he did it. That's what Vrabel really wants. Remember Hooker, Monty Hooker, right? He wasn't a starter. All of a sudden he became a starter. So it's just, hey, these guys are. Pretty sure he took over for Vaccaro, if I remember correctly. So that's the Vrabel way. Work your way up with the work in, shine on special teams, become a depth player, then we'll give you a starting shot. And, Gifford had a recovered fumble last week against the Bears. So, hey, he is truly a special teams ace. Now, what I am really the most interested in, because I did kind of, I don't know if I freaked out a little bit too much in the last video or not, but I'm interested to see the secondary, the depth of the secondary, because our starters are playing really well, like I talked about with Christian Fulton and McCreary and Murphy Bunting, and then Elijah Molden had a sack there as well. But I want to see the depth. I'm so worried about our depth. I really am. Ronald Darby, the guy we brought in, who I wanted us to sign, he was signed by the Ravens. Sucks. It was like a 1-year, $3.4 million deal. It wasn't even. It was 3 point something. It wasn't even 4. I was like, come on, we could have done that. And I want to say it was worth up to. So there was incentives in there. He's signed. So let's hope we show some improvement depth-wise on Saturday. If these guys play a little better, I'll be very encouraged to see that. It'll ease my mind a little bit because I am worried about these guys. And if they struggle again, like they did against the Bears, and you guys got to remember, if they put their starters out there at all, DJ Moore is a hell of a player, but Justin Jefferson's going to fucking crush these guys. He's going to smoke them. He's going to make them look like peewees. So if they play like they did last week, and if they could by any chance make a play against that guy, it'll be all right. I feel good against with our depth here. But I want to see how this depth really does pan out. By the way, a couple guys that did stand out, and I wanted to give them some shout outs here. Tyjae Spears continues to just look the electric part. He's going to be the lightning to Derrick Henry's thunder. And then Ryan Stonehouse is just absolutely bombing booming these kicks, guys. That's how Gifford got that freaking the fumble recovery last week against the Bears. Guys are like just looking up, and I'm like, oh my God, that ball hasn't landed yet. Still hasn't landed yet. They don't know what to do. Guys are approaching on him. This guy's leg is just monstrous. You have to be able to cover, especially with a guy with that size of leg, right? Ryan Stonehouse is already the best punter in the league. Don't care. Don't even argue with me. He's already got stuff in the Hall of Fame at his rookie year. He was second team All-Pro last year. Should have been first team. Ryan Stonehouse is the best punter in the NFL. Crown him. He is the king of punting. Love that guy. We got a good punter, guys. I love him. I love that his last name Stonehouse. Stonehouse is rocking those kicks. Now, that's what I'm looking for in the game on Saturday. So that's it for tonight, guys. But just a quick recap. What I am looking for, like I said, the offensive line, the competition for the inside linebacker, for the second inside linebacker spot, and the depth of the secondary. That's what I'm looking at. That's what I really want to see. And I guess I can't really leave out the kicker battle either, because that's still tight. We don't have a starting kicker yet. So let's see how that goes. I think Shudek is kind of leading the way over Wolf right now. That's the way it looks like to me, but it's not like it's a huge margin. So I'm really interested to see that as well. So I would say that's the fourth thing I'm looking for in this game. Don't expect to see a lot of starters. I doubt the Vikings will put out a lot of starters either. But that's it for tonight, guys. We'll talk after the game, and go Titans, tighten up. Good luck, Vikings, too. But it's just a preseason game, so I don't hate you guys, but tighten up.